Women get real about how swinging affected their relationships. For some couples, the idea of having sex with anyone other than your spouse or long-term monogamous partner seems unfathomable. It can be hard to understand how swinging when you swap partners with another couple and sleep with someone new can actually lead to stronger relationship bonds. But believe it or not, it can, and there are more couples interested in doing it than you may realize. If you've ever remotely considered getting into swinging with your spouse, significant other, or just that cool friend with benefits, there are a few things you should know before you dive in. Below, 4 women get real about what their own swinging experiences were really like. Remember that before you take the plunge on some new sexual activity, you and your partner want to talk things out and make sure you both feel emotionally and physically safe to move forward. Nicole has been with her husband for 18 years and they've been swinging for 17. How she got into it? I grew up with this idea that there's not just one person for anyone and that we can enjoy being with multiple people, as well as the idea that you can have sex without having emotion tied to it. My husband knew that I was bi-curious when we met, so on the anniversary of our first date, we decided to explore and went to a swingers club. How it impacted her relationship? It's really helped strengthen our relationship. Not all experiences were 100% pleasurable, so we made an effort to have those conversations and keep the lines of communication open. When you talk about swinging, it makes it so much easier to discuss other issues in the relationship. Her advice to those considering the lifestyle: for couples who are considering it, we suggest that you better have a really good relationship starting out because it doesn't fix broken relationships, it only breaks them up faster. Also, you need to have conversations with your spouse or partner before you go into it. Know your rules and limits before you get into a situation because you can't really get upset with your partner if you didn't talk about. Jody was introduced to swinging 5 years ago and is currently single. She loves her work as a sex coach and says if it weren't for swinging, she wouldn't be where she is now. How she got into it: I was introduced to swinging by my former husband, and not in a good way. One day he forgot to log off the computer and I looked at his browser. I saw some sites that I was not familiar with, but I was appalled by what I saw. Sometime later, I confronted him about it. He explained to me what swinging was, but I furthered my knowledge by reading everything I could. I then told him that if he had just talked to me about it, it was something I could be open to. How it impacted her relationship: swinging honestly had no effect on our relationship, which ended for other reasons. Swinging changed me personally for the better. I have sexual confidence that I didn't have before. I exclusively date swingers now because I meet a much better class of men. They really honor and respect women. Her advice to those considering swinging: if your marriage is struggling, don't do it. It will only make things worse. If you have a good marriage, dip your toes in the water. Attend a meet and greet or another event. The swinger couples I know have absolutely amazing marriages. For a single woman, you'll meet the best men ever, but take it slow and make sure you take the usual dating precautions. Julia Allen, co-founder of Stockings VR, was 24 when she first walked into a swingers club and has now been swinging for 25 years. How she got into it: my boyfriend thought it would be fun to try. We didn't do anything except dance and talk to some people the first night, but it was exciting, and I couldn't wait to go back. A few months later, on New Year's Eve, we had a hotel room and invited a few people up. Well, everyone came up. It was packed, and before I knew it, everyone was having sex all around me. A lovely woman wanted to play with me and my boyfriend. I loved it. I loved watching him with her and having him watch me with her, and then both of us just getting lost in the whole experience. I loved the experience of being able to have sex outside of my relationship. How it impacted her relationship: I've never been tempted to stray outside of my relationship by having an affair. Swinging takes care of all of my sex needs. I really feel that it strengthens every relationship. I don't view sex as something that you only have with someone you love. Sex is recreational. I think every boyfriend I've had has felt the same way. Along the way, I started filming myself with various people and decided to take my swinging, exhibitionist, kinky lifestyle and make it full-time. I guess you could say that swinging has enriched my relationships and also enriched my life. Her advice to those considering swinging: don't feel pressure. Most people who are new to swinging don't actually have sex. They like to watch. In a swingers club, not really does mean no. Many times, I've had men or women approach me, and if I don't feel like it, I just say no. You can explore any fantasy you have at a swingers club. I would suggest for first-timers to try a larger club where there are lots of people. People who go to swingers clubs are normal people who you would never guess in a million years are swingers. About 90% of people who swing are married with kids and just want to try walking on the wild side together. Jessica Drake, an adult superstar and certified sex educator, has been swinging since before she was in the adult industry. How she got into it, depending on the state of each relationship and my boundaries with different partners, I had different experiences. In the beginning, when I was younger, it felt awkward based on my inability to be assertive about my wants and needs. It felt more like that group sex stereotype that you might see on TV or in porn, and definitely more male pleasure-centered. How it impacted her relationship, sexual jealousy has never really been an issue for me, and as long as my needs are being met, I feel secure and aroused when I watch a partner enjoying someone else. I think one mistake some people make is assuming that swinging has only one meaning, but it's something that is totally open to interpretation. Some of my most intimate, fulfilling encounters lately have been soft swap, meaning I have sex with my primary partner, and have foreplay only with our guests. Her advice to those considering swinging: if you want to start experimenting with swinging and swapping, you need to take a look at your sexual values and belief system. Compare it to the way your partner perceives things, and before you proceed, have an honest discussion. Overall, if you find yourself wanting to try this later on in life, go for it. It may reawaken you and give you a sexual second wind. It's never too late. There are people of all ages, all body types, all colors, who come from a variety of backgrounds looking for like-minded people.